In this edition of It's Your Business, right now, he's probably dreaming up things that he has to do on his to-do list. If I know anything about contractors, his name is John Hill, and we're going to talk about the Good Contractors list. John, how are you? I bet you're pretty busy because a lot is happening in the housing world, isn't it?
Man, I'm telling you, yeah, a lot of people to see out there for sure.
So tell us about the Good Contractors list. It's a way to find people who have integrity, you feel like you're going to get a good job, that kind of stuff. That's how that list was created or dreamed up, right?
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of different resources out there where you can find contractors. What I was trying to do was put together something that truly protected the people. What we do is we go and interview each contractor face-to-face, which doesn't usually typically happen. When we meet them face-to-face, we also are asking them all the questions that should be asked. We make sure they have insurance, they're licensed, and we do background checks on them.
Ooh, background checks. So you go through, you get the licensing, all that sort of stuff. And how do they get on your list? How do you find out more about them? You go through the licenses and the things that you just said, or how do they jump on your list? One
of the other differences is that we actually try to get involved in the communities, go in and try to find out through community leaders, through industry professionals, who are the guys that we can trust. Those guys do business with contractors on a daily basis. They have long-lasting relationships with them. And so we have plumbers referring plumbers. And I think the number one thing that's going to make us different is that we're so sure of the choices that we've made that if they don't get the job done right, we're going to pay to get it fixed.
Wow. So I look at your list and the list of services it's everything. So it's, home repair handyman, landscaping, lawn stuff, electrical, drainage, decks, everything, folks, you can possibly ever think of. So you go down, you choose what it is you want, you go to your list, and if someone messes up, like, for example, for me, if somebody messes up the swimming pool maintenance and cleaning, then you take care of it.
That's right. We have gone through this extensive process to make sure that the homeowner's taken care of. We believe, that if we're going to refer someone, there's a lot of referral sources out there. If we're going to refer someone, wouldn't it be nice if we knew them? That only makes too much sense. So we decided that's the way we're going to do it. It's a little bit slower. I mean, we don't just go out and tell everybody that we can get on the list. We actually take our time, ask the right questions, go to the right people to find these guys.
Yeah. How do you, what's the fee, since every contractor's guaranteed, what's the feedback that you've gotten from people?
They're blown away. They can't believe that somebody's willing to. Part of our model is that we limit the number of contractors on our list, which means that we limit how much money we can make. And we put ourselves at greater risk. But the reason that we did that is so that we can keep the integrity all the way around. We actually have to keep ourselves honest in this too. So the response has been overwhelming. Everybody loves it.
What seems to be, I went through some of the things that are listed on the list, which is such a great idea, but what is the most popular need, do you think? Is there one thing, is it plumbing? Is it granite work? What do you see the most of where people are looking for recommendations of?
Air conditioning is real big, and that's a big heading, especially with all the sting operations you see on TV. You want to make sure that you have a guy that's not going to go out there and misdiagnose something. I don't know if you've seen any of those things that pop up on TV where they do the sting operations for air conditioning contractors, but we're being very careful. One of the things that we're also looking for is the guys that aren't going to go in and do a lot of upselling. We're trying to keep away from the high-pressure, high-fear sales tactics, and that seems to be kind of the epidemic that I'm seeing happening a lot in the contractor industry. Is a lot of the bigger guys are getting big, but they have trained salespeople versus just downright good service people.
Oh, John, you're my new best friend. I hate that upselling. Everybody, even the pizza guy is trying to upsell you. It's crazy. I get it that that's what people are told to do. And then when extra things happen, of course, it makes sense in a business sense in one way because you get more money. But I think that we like shield ourselves from that because we get pounded by upselling in every single industry, not just contracting, but everything in our lives. And so now we don't like it. That's very, very smart of you to do that because that's what it is.
I mean, I don't like it, and everybody who's on board with me on this knows that that's one of the first things that would get you kicked off the list. By actually keeping the number down to the appropriate number, I can actually hold them accountable. And they know that's one of the first things that would get them kicked off is if someone was complaining about this guy wouldn't leave my house, some of those things that you hear horror stories about. And the guys that I've picked, I just know they're not going to be that late. They're just good folks.
Yeah. When you pulled this together, and as you said, you take your time, you go out there, you get to know the community and all, and the people also that you're dealing with. Did your buddies tell you you're crazy? Why are you doing this?
Yeah, that's probably the most horrible business model you can put together to limit how much money you can make and put yourself at greater risk. I said, you know what? In order to do it right, in order for us all to have the integrity we need, we really need to be held accountable. And the only way that this is going to work is if we find the right contractors that's not going to take advantage of people. Bottom line.
And you know this, John, that people, I can't tell you the horror stories I've heard from people, even, no offense to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever, but people go in and they get sold a package, a bathroom remodel or whatever, because they need their bathroom redone. And I've heard nothing but terrible things. I guarantee people listening to us now here on America Tonight have stories about something that's leaked or something that's happened. And it really gives contractors a bad name, which is a shame because there's a lot of good people out there, don't you think?
I agree. I think that there's a larger majority of people that are good that want to do honest work and try to do the right thing. But there's just enough bad people out there that it just ruins it for everybody. I'm meeting a lot of great people. The main thing that you got to really watch out for is to make sure that you don't just rush into anything. And I would advise any homeowner, take your time to do your homework. Even if you're using the good contractors list to find your contractor, do a little extra study on them. Go look at the reviews. We've already done all that stuff, but always protect yourself and make sure that you're not going to be taken advantage of. Or nowadays, with cell phones being able to be bought at Walmart, these guys can just come in, take half your money, and disappear, and it's just it's horrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's happened with a lot of people. And so run through some of the things for us. The air conditioning and heating you said was popular, but it kind of seems like everything's on your list from A to Z. Did you just think of everything that somebody needs done in a home and that's what you went after?
We're still building. It's like I say, it's a one contractor at a time. We're doing this face to face. We're seeking out the right guys. We do have a few in each type of service. Definitely need to bring on more contractors that we can trust. And so we're going to keep doing it, and we're going to keep plugging away and give these guys just about everything that they could need for their home services. That's what our goal is, to have representatives in all the different fields that we have screened and agree upon. For instance, a remodeling contractor, if that did end up happening, where they used somebody from our list and disappeared, we will guarantee that won't happen. We'll come in and fix it. If they took off with $10,000, that's $10,000 we're going to return back to you.
Wow.
But we're just really that sure about our choices that that's just never going to happen.
Right. Are you kind of that guy that can do a little, just yourself, I'm curious, a little bit of everything, that you could, if you had to do a roof, if you had to build a house from the ground up, how did you start off? Were you as a kid a guy who wanted to get into the business?
I'm not a contractor. I work alongside contractors and show them how to operate their businesses with integrity, but right. I couldn't change a light bulb. I'm horrible at it. But I tell you what, I am good. I'm a good judge of character, and I know the right channels to go to find somebody who's honest, and that's what we've done. So
did you? Well, you're a homeowner, so you know what it's like, because nothing is perfect. Doesn't matter if your house is new. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit older. Things start to happen with plumbing and things in your house, sure. Dishwasher, whatever it is, hot water heater. There's just nobody that's insulated from having to make these calls. So it's pretty interesting.
Frustrating.
Yes.
Yeah, it gets so frustrating whenever you're faced with an issue, and most of these guys, most people just wait until the issue happens before they start looking for somebody. If you're not, and they're able to have someone from the good contractors list come out and take care of you, I suggest doing a little homework now before you have the issue. Go out and talk to some real estate agents or other industry type professionals that work with contractors on a daily basis, and do your homework and find a few guys that, just in case there's an emergency, go ahead and have a few names ready. Versus, in that emergency situation, having to go look and find somebody out of the yellow pages or off of review sites or whatever, and then take the chance of being taken advantage of. Do your homework first.
Yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely. Well said. John Hill, goodcontractorslist.com. Check it out. Thanks so much for coming on America Tonight.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.